After leading by a sizable margin at halftime, the Raptors almost managed to blow this game down the stretch, but because of some big shots and some big stops, the Raptors are able to come away with the 5-point win. This is the Raptors Roundup. Let's get into it. This is the Raptors Roundup, the segment on the channel where we go through the Raptors game from the day before. We give you a brief overview of the game, we take you through a synopsis of proceedings, and then we leave you with 3 takeaways that you can move on with for the future. But this is Amateur Sports, the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 days a week. So if it is your first time here with me today, you like what you see, you want more of myself talking about the Raptors in videos just like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Show your support, join the movement of the channel as we look to hit 2K. We also do a lot of live streaming on the channel. We live streamed the game last night, had a fantastic time as the Raptors closed it out down the stretch. Look at the great content you missed out on by not being at the stream. Stuffed him! Stuffed him! Let's go! Let's go! Got to stop us some bonus, that's what I'm talking about, man! Come on, Stanley! That's some great content and a great moment for the Raptors. Make sure you're there tonight for another watch along against the Indiana Pacers. But today, we are rounding up the Sunday afternoon game where the Raptors ended up winning 107-102, an absolute nail-biter, an absolute stomach-turner, but the Raptors managed to come away with the win. In a game where they did not have Kyle Lowry or Pascal Siakam available, I thought that was going to be a bit of a problem, but at least we got to see another game where Norman Powell started, where the Raptors typically fare well, but I was worried in Pascal's absence for the lack of size, especially against an Indiana Pacers team who has a lot of size in Domantas Sabonis, in Miles Turner. So I thought it'd be a problem, but clearly that was not the case. The Raptors did a pretty good job on guys like Sabonis, and I thought that Sabonis would be a problem, and I also saw that Bam Adebayo would be a problem in the game to get the Miami Heat, but clearly we can shut down opposition bigs to a good degree because Sabonis had nothing in this game. Let's get into a synopsis of the game in the first quarter. So we come out the gates, not very hot, but we're doing quite well. Fred VanVleet gets us started with some early points, and Baines, I noticed again, was fantastic in this game, has been slowly improving over the last week or so. I keep saying was good against the Mavs, he got even better on Wednesday night against Miami, got even better Friday against Miami, and was even better, exceeded that even more so against the Indiana Pacers yesterday afternoon. Was hitting threes, was getting stops on defense, was getting rebounds. It was fantastic to see the performance by Aaron Baines in this one. OG was also on fire. He ended up putting up a career high in points, and it got started in the first half. Already had, I believe it was 15 points, was it, in the first quarter alone, something ridiculous like that. OG was great on offense, but also stellar on defense, doing a great job in his matchup against Sabonis. Yes, OG defending Sabonis on the other end. OG is fantastic and can guard all 5 positions on the court to an elite level, and you saw it especially yesterday, putting up with the Indiana Pacers big Domantas Sabonis. And we know OG can guard any of the other 4 positions, no problem, but even has the ability to defend that 5 spot specifically. And the defense of the Raptors is great as a whole. Great defense all over the place, and Nick Nurse turns to the bench early and often. A lot of early minutes for those bench pieces, and they played a lot. Yuta Watanabe in particular had a great game, disrupted a lot of Indiana's offense, and also on the other end, if he got open, he did hit one of those 3-pointers. Also, much improved performance from DeAndre Bembry in this one. So overall, good quarter. We go into the second quarter tied at 24. Bench stays on, and we really start to pull away in the second quarter. OG really lights it up. He's really lightened up the first half. Was great throughout the game, but this first half, OG was hitting shot after shot, and I believe he had 5 steals in the first half alone. And what was really telling about this Raptors performance was, kind of seeing shades of that bench mob that we used to have and playing all these bench guys in way more pockets. Great to see Nick Nurse using his bench as often as he did. I really think that Yuta deserves a lot more minutes than he gets, and really showed it in the Indiana game. I think that when we go small, having that wing player who's got the size of a power forward but the ball handling of a guard in Yuta Watanabe would be pretty big, and the Raptors love playing small. I think that's key here. Also, more shout out to the defense. Aaron Baines was great. Stanley Johnson was great. It was great to see OG Anunoby finally demanding the ball on offense, really excelling into a guy who can be that primary option, and without Lowry or Siakam available, he was allowed to be that primary option and be the scorer on the other end, and he really showed that he is capable of doing it. I've been saying for so long that he's capable of these kind of games. He just has to do it, and he doesn't demand the ball enough, and he's too passive sometimes, but we really Did not see it here. Fantastic to see from OG. The only thing that really kept the Pacers in this game was, because Domantas Sabonis was awful and Malcolm Brogdon was awful in this game, was the fact that Sabonis got a lot of free throw calls and was 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the first half. Only had one field goal at halftime, really struggled, and the Raptors are up big at halftime. Third quarter, and we just continue to control the game. Sabonis still struggling. Brogdon still struggling. Justin Holiday starts to hit some shots, but the Raptors are up by a comfy amount. And this all just continues. The defense, the scoring continues until the last 2 minutes of the quarter, where it all falls apart. All of the great work we did for the first 34 minutes of the game goes out the window. Some big threes by Miles Turner gets the Pacers back into this game, some sloppy defense, some bad decisions on offense, and all of a sudden the Pacers are down by just 2 points as we head into the fourth quarter. The rest of the game was just complete sweating as a Raptors fan watching this. Just constant back and forth action. The Raptors with a slim lead, Indiana Pacers tying it up, maybe taking a 1-point lead off a 3 from Jeremy Lamb, and it boils down to the clutch period, where I asked the people in chat on the live stream, where is the big bucket going to come from? Where is that one huge play going to come from that is going to give the Raptors that chance of victory? And the answers, the people who are going to make that difference, they answered the call. Fred VanVleet got us started in the clutch period, was 2 big shots. OG on offense and on defense making good decisions, and Stanley for his tremendous defense. Our free throws let us down, definitely. Our free throws definitely let us down and made it closer than it needed to be. However, the Raptors, when the free throws really counted, when they were only up by 1 point, OG knocked down 2 of them, which put the Raptors up by 3 points with about 8 seconds left in the game, not a lot of time at all. And what happened on the other end?
Domantas Sabonis
gets his opportunity in the paint with Boucher on him. Boucher does a great job of disrupting the first shot. And on the second shot, Stanley Johnson, the Stanimal, comes up with the biggest block of the night to give the Raptors the ball back. Foul comes, and the Raptors go the other way, hit both free throws, and win this game by 5 points. What a fantastic display in the clutch. Something we are absolutely not used to seeing from this Toronto Raptors team, who has really fought back from being 1-6 or being 2-8. They are now 7-9 and definitely on the road to recovery. Fantastic defense throughout the entire game except for that one little spell in the third quarter, and the offense did what they needed to do, especially in the clutch. It was so pleasing to finally see a Raptors team 16 games into the season come alive in the clutch and take over a game and just will the team to victory. That's on OG, Fred, and Stanley for getting us this win late on in the game. Let's get into the 3 takeaways of this one. The first key takeaway is that we're kind of developing maybe this bench mob for the Raptors. There's so many great bench pieces like Yuta Watanabe, who I believe deserves more minutes on the court, and it was nice to see Nick Nurse actually relying on the bench to give us this win, because the bench was huge, especially in the first half, in giving us that sizable advantage going into halftime. I'd like to see Nurse use the bench more often. I think Bembry was much improved in this game. Give him maybe a bit more time, but lots of good stuff coming from the bench. Hopefully some of these guys can step up like Stanley Johnson did and take on bigger roles for this team. Second key takeaway is that OG Anunoby is 100% good enough to be a future star in the NBA. He definitely has all defense potential. I think this year he could even make an all defense team. But when he finally can be that primary option on offense, where he can get the ball in his hands more often, create his own looks, get to the rim, even amongst the trees like Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis, while also knocking down 3 after 3, and at the same time with all that great offense, get steals and stops and blocks and rebounds on the defensive end. He was utterly spectacular in this game, and I know he can produce games like this more often. OG is really this baby Kawhi Leonard, and at only 23 years old, OG Anunoby, the sky is the limit for this player. Third key takeaway is that the Raptors are actually 13 straight games in a row that they win when Kyle Lowry is not there. They are 3-0 when Kyle Lowry is not there, and 2-0 when Siakam is not there this season. So the Raptors seem to do quite well in games in which they are not playing. And it's I don't know if it's coincidental, but Norm and Fred weren't spectacular today, but OG stepped up in their absence, getting the ball more often. But it's just kind of a peculiar sight to see the Raptors being able to win without their supposed best two players. And I'm not calling them to not play games or get benched at all, but it's just something to consider, the fact that the Raptors have enough depth to overcome these things and still manage to win games. There's a lot of guys with a lot of talent, and that is great to see. Even when there's injuries or suspensions, whatever, it's great to see the Raptors being able to overcome that, because when the stars aren't there, it just makes the team want to work even harder, and they put in the utmost amount of effort for this game to lock down the victory, and the Raptors move to 7-9, and we just get another treat tonight. Back-to-back nights against the Indiana Pacers. Hopefully we roll with that late game momentum into the game tonight against the Pacers. So I want to know all your thoughts and opinions on this game. What did you make of the game? What did you make of the Raptors in the clutch? And how far do you think OG Anunoby can go in his career? Only 23 years old. Just how far can he take it? What is his ceiling? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. That wraps it up for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, please like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. We're live streaming tonight. I encourage you to be there. We had a great stream with a ton of viewers yesterday. Hopefully we can continue that tonight. Also, if you want to become a member of the channel, press the join button down below. A lot of perks, extra perks for the people who want to give that extra little bit of support to the channel. Thank you again. At the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time for another video.